Right, good morning. Full disclaimer, I reset my account. Had some issue with Topstep, got me completely under the um, riled up. They logged in a trade in my inactive account. Somehow it was ineligible and it was inactive for a while. But somehow the trade got logged in. So I'm in touch with Topstep support to see if I can get that trade on this account, but then that kind of put me in a spiral where the trade didn't log in the right account and I was trying to fight the market. So I wanted to start fresh and get this done with. So we're going with high leverage, seeing if we can get this account back to where it was. Started in a drawdown because of that, and that's what it takes. Might be marketed as something anybody can do, and just to get those payouts, I think there's a lot of steps, a lot of challenges that a trader needs to go through. And these are just some of the challenges that I went through. I have to reset it multiple of times, and I'm recording this journey so I can recap, and if someone can find value in it and seeing the true live nature of trading, what it takes to get funded and on our way to a payout. Markets are moving very fast pre-market, so I took those trades. That put me green on the day, kind of take me out of some hairy position. Now I'm going to be patient for the market open. Reason for the entry was just getting here. I've been trying to long it and just get stopped out. A lot of cuts. Took me a while to get to the correct position sizing for the account. Combine, I'm trying to be very aggressive. I understand. But when we get to the funded, express funded phase, there's a different strategy of how we're going to play this. Right now, the strategy is before the billing date, just make sure that you hit the mark or get the thing reset. It's been very small ups and downs, and although that's great, but this is not going to get us any payouts. This is just a combine stage. So I think that's just always in the back of my head and affects execution a bit because there are times that I've been great trades, but I won't size up. So let's say you catch those 10 points, 20 points, but you are sitting at 2 micros. Great to get some confidence back in the market, but we want to make some real consistent money here and withdraw. So just adjusting, moving forward, and learning this game of prop firm trading intraday. Markets saw all-time highs. It's going very bullish. Big ranges overnight. About 70-point range, so volume is back. That's good news. Market opening about 5 minutes. Let's see if there's any news today. Some news coming in later in the day. Trump's been imposing tariffs around the globe, and that's markets receiving it positively. Let's come in and type in a few of the rules for trading. Starting with right? So being hopeful in profits, being fearful in loss, letting profits run, cutting losses quick. Not sizing up after drawdown or a loss. Not sizing down after profit. I think this is what you would call a mindset of a trader. Being consistently profitable. These are some of the rules that conflict with our primal brain, our evolution brain. Our evolution brain wants us to take profits quickly because we have a fear of losing that money somehow. Right? So that's number one. And when we're seeing a lot of profit roll in, what our probability brain should say is we need to be hopeful that, okay, it's going to reach a certain amount. Because let's say you take the trade off and you're in 200 in the money, $200. It could go up to 400 if you cut it at 200. Now that extra 200 you lost is a loss in the market because you might not get it in the next setup. Every time you put in a trade, there is a certain risk that you're taking. Being fearful in a loss means, let's say, market doesn't go your way. You're on the wrong side of the probability. You need to cut it quick or size down or scale out, I mean. Not scale in, right? Then there's no conviction. That's just avoiding pain. And so if you master these things, this psychology, this mindset, then there is a probability, a higher probability that you're going to turn out profitable in the markets. It's what I've learned from many psych masters and trading for a while now. My personal accounts and managing some portfolios. What we end up doing is we're fearful in profits. That's the evolution brain. Because we want to control the outcome. We want to see, if we see that money, we take it. What we end up doing is we are hopeful in a loss. We hope that market's just going to come up and give us some money back, or just gonna, because we're in a loss, we feel stuck. We do not let profits run because we believe they're just gonna disappear, and we don't cut losses quick because we think or believe that they're just gonna that they somehow just gonna revert. So these are some of the rules I'm going to put it here for us. Markets are moving quick. All-time highs, baby. All-time highs. Buy higher, sell even higher. If you try to short this market, then that's a different story. This could be an interesting buy. Just trying to let the first 15-minute candle do its thing. And then we'll get in at our bread and butter setup. Could do quick scalps. And later in the day, just hold those positions. The first minute of the market open. Nice big green candle printed and kind of took out a lot of those all-time highs and printed new all-time highs. Let's see if we can sustain it. These are very fast markets, especially all-time highs. Whole move got the whole bull candle got eaten up. This is institutions.
Order filled.
Just seeing if we get the continuation on this candle. That's the one.
Order filled.
Out of it because saw some resistance. Didn't see a clean up. Candle go up. This could revert. So this was just a little quickie. Yes, I could have put the stop in the money, but I'm just waiting for the first 15 minute to close and set clear limits. Very bullish. That means we're going to get other chances as well. A lot of volume kicking in the market, which is a great sign. I have a good feeling about this, but we'll see. It's probability. Either you're on the right side of the probability or the wrong side. It's like we're talking about it. We size up when we're in a drawdown because we want to make that money back. That's just innate. Everything we lost, we can't sit in a loss. We can't go to bed with that loss or pain of losing. And we size down right after profits, which means anytime we hit, let's say $300-400, we want to keep that. We want to go home or go to bed thinking that we won something. But the trading system does not care. Trading system means you're consistently putting the same amount of risk after you back tested an edge or a strategy and letting the odds play out. Let's say you make 500, 600, and then you lose 300, 400, that's okay. Or as long as you cut those losses quick Let's say I would rather take $300 losses than a one $400 loss, just arbitrary numbers. Because those three losses are giving me a chance to make about 500 bucks. And even at the end of the week, let's say you're up 100 bucks, 500 bucks, that's a profitable trader. Sure, if you didn't take any losses, you would have been about $2,000 up, not 500, but you can't avoid losses in this game. Very bullish market. I'll come and mark out these levels as we go. So it's just a little thing because trading is all psychology. Rest is just clicking buttons. Anybody can do it. Psychological numbers are sitting at 236.50. Is market going to reach there? Or it's just going to reverse? Let's see. Usually it's not a bad idea to short a market like this because it can easily reverse and come back and give some good opportunities, but just trying to be patient now. Just want that one good trade, a good amount of conviction. Just going to get a job done. Very bullish. This news coming in at 10 o'clock. Huge bull candle. Big range. That's what we like to see since markets open. That's about a 50, 60 point range, 70 points on the overnight range. And as soon as it broke it, it just never saw a light of day. That's a great thing that volatility is back because market's not ranging, and this is where we can milk it or capitalize on it. So that's why I had a good feeling. If we're on the right side of the probability, there's a lot of opportunity. Clearly. A lot of the shorts got pooched. They were sitting at 586, big orders. 590. And all of these guys got pooched. Waiting for the first 15-minute to close. It's clearly made a range. Closing in 5 minutes. Do we just buy the dip and ride it? Seems like that's the play today. I had a buy up here and I closed it pretty quick. The reason was, let's say you buy here and you had this candle that came right below. That's a big drawdown. I didn't want that happening here because there's a lot of shakiness, but I think market's rewarding people that are patient. So let's exercise some of that. But still just execute when needed. About 4 minutes before this candle closes. That's a big range for the first 15 minutes. 4 hour looks very bullish, especially the daily, which is printing huge bull candles. It's just been distribution, some manipulation, liquidity grabs, and pushing higher. Haven't marked any levels yet because nothing's come into play. Market's going all-time high. Alright, 3 minutes, about 2 minutes 50 seconds for this candle close. 15-minute candle, that is. We'll see if we can buy and get an entry here. That'd be good. Also, if it rallies higher, we need a strong push close on the 5 minute, and then we'll buy off of this 23652 region and ride it out. If it comes down, because there's a lot of downside as well, this gap can fill intraday, then we'll see if we can come and short it here or just decide when it comes to it. Two minutes before this candle closes, let's quickly check what gold's doing. Gold's just been consolidating. A lot of opportunity too if you just buy the dip right out, buy the dip right out. So gold always seems to do me dirty, but there's a lot of opportunity for sure. Russell, big sell candle in the Russell. I'm tempted to just buy some here. See if you can get a reversal. But can keep going lower, so we'll wait for it. And Q. 15-minute closing in about 1 minute. There was a big range that got printed, and then now it's back to where it was. Volatile. This could be an interesting entry. Top of the range. I can only buy up to 15 here. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll add more. Ten seconds before this candle closes. Russell seems interesting, eh? Printed a huge wicks down, so this could be an interesting reversal. But I'm just being a tad bit careful in it, focusing just on the NQ for the moment. First 15-minute closed. Very bullish. Are we going to come down to the top of the range and get some entries so we can ride it out? Or what's going to happen? Let's see. Even for shorts, there was a lot of opportunity. Risky, but a lot of opportunity. Even if you shorted, let's say, here, had some tight risk there, but then again, you didn't know. You could have kept shorting it, kept getting stopped out, but that one trade that did work, that would have been about 20, 25 points. So let's say you were risking each time 4 points, 4 points. You could have made your 20 points and break even, but just being selective. Different strategies for sure. I'm going to move my order up here, delete this VWAP, and get a new anchored VWAP from the
Order
30
filled.
minute. That's me filled from the top of the range. Let's see if we can get some nice pushes up. What I don't want is some drawdown. What I do want is add into it as soon as we go higher. So seems like a good buy at the moment. Same trade coming to the top of the range. Could come lower, but I think it's valid. And now just being patient. It's below the VWAP. It's just not the best sign, but let's see what happens. Grabbing a lot of orders here. My stop's right below the top of the range. If it goes lower, it can just continue lower. And all of that buying action got eaten out. All of that.
Order filled.
All right. Huge pushes down. Maybe I got stopped out. I'm going to wait for it again to see if we can get another entry. Nice big push down.
Order filled.
Getting at about 20 here. Stop below the low of the first 15 minute. About 15 points of drawdown to make 40 or 50 points. That's the trade. Going with some size. Trying to catch those moves. Getting advantage of the volatility.
Order filled.
Got completely stopped out. Market seems to have reversed. Bottom of the 15 minute. And it found support at that 50%. That puts me right on the day. Huge wick or huge push down. This could be an interesting sell here, right below the bottom of the range. The market's just so bullish that that would be a very counter trend thing to do. So just trying to use some discretion and seeing if we can. There's a lot of support in this 50% region. That would have been a nice sell. Very risky trades, but
Order filled. Order filled.
oh man, quick way to lose your $250. That's because my risk settings are so tight at the moment. Let me go. Oh well. Finding support at that 50% mark.
Order filled.
I'm buying it here. Hoping for the retest. Because this could be a manipulation. We did saw some manipulation for pre-market as well. It's finding a lot of support at that 50% mark, so that's the trade. Could be wrong. But if this plays out, this will be a great trade, especially the top of the range. But there are buyers in the market for sure, and it's just this was a gnarly manipulation candle. Usually I would short it, and I did try it, and it stopped me out, so I'm switching gears and seeing if this could be an interesting dip to buy. There is going to be resistance at the bottom of the first 15-minute candle, so we just need to be wary of that. But if it passes through that, might come up to the VWAP where my order is, and that's an interesting trade. Just finding resistance here, we'll just close it. That's what I'm looking at. That was a very confidence-inspiring red candle though for the buyers. But because market's pushing higher, this could be an opportunity to buy dips. This could be a dip for a move higher. Let's see if we're on the right side of the probability or not. Could have had a better average below, but I wasn't even thinking buys. I was thinking shorts past as soon as it broke the last 15 minutes. But then using some discretion, thinking that this is manipulation. And the overall trend is bull, so we might see a push higher. That's a big kill candle. Pull the rug. Pre-market happened the same thing. Went and bought up new highs, all-time highs, and then came all the way below. Pulled the rug. Got some liquidity, went all-time high. So that's the trade logic if it plays out. Finding a lot of support in that 50% mark. So if it rallies up, then this is looking good. If we get 40 points out of it, that's looking real good. I was tempted to put stop in the money, but I've been stopped out so many times in the past, so I'm just giving it some room to breathe, changing some strategy. Right, new 5-minute candle. Let's see where it takes us. Is it going to be a bear market or bear trend, micro trend, or it's going to be a nice big reversal? It's flirting with the lows at the moment. Right at our entry. Testing that support line. The 50% of the support line. Getting some support here. See if we get a nice big buyer, push it higher. Seeing a little bit of drawdown, but mostly it's volatile, that's all. Just wanted to flip upstairs. And that would take out a lot of sellers in the market. Finding support, wicking at that 50% order block, but still it's deciding. There you go. Nice big push up. Got a huge support, big buy kicked in. Now deciding at the bottom of the first 15-minute candle it wants to push up or not. Good opportunity. Just want to keep it with Topstep's consistency rules. So setting up my order accordingly because they don't want 50% of like one day being so large that it's more than 50% of your total profits. So I'm just trying to manage that. Flirting with the bottom of the first 15-minute candle. Are we going to see a push higher? Maybe the thesis was right that this was a manipulation candle. So all the guys who take the setup every day, which is break of the low of the first 15-minute and then a push down, they're under the water or they're being tested right now. They're all going to cover at the top of the range. That's where all their stop losses would be. So we might see a big candle coming up and taking all those orders. And then going and testing the high of day. That's the thesis. Let's see if it plays out. Right now seems like it's finding some rejection at the bottom of the 15 minutes, which means a lot of shorts are piling up. But that's their setup. That's the bread and butter. It's called the orb setup, ORB. Shorting right below the first 15-minute candle, the low of the 15-minute. If market goes below the low, you short it. If it goes above the highs, you buy. And you consistently do it, and that's where people find edge. Right now it's flirting with that low of the first 15-minute. We want to see a push high and take out all those stop loss orders. Very volatile. Making decisions up here. Printed a big wick here as well to take out some weak longs. That's why I didn't want my stop in the money, because it's very volatile and it's just take quickly, like a flash of a second, it's taking out a lot of that liquidity. We want to move up higher. So let's see. Shorts are piling up. Buyers are also coming in here as well. Big orders throughout, all the way through. Nothing much below, but a lot of orders upstairs. So let's see if it goes and take all those orders. It's above the 50%, holding well. We want to close above the the low of the 15 minute. That would be a good trade. Right, flirting with that auto block again, 50% of it. It's printing wicks. Let's look at the larger time frame. This could be a good buying opportunity on the 1 hour. Nice good dip for a move higher. Seeing print new high of day is going to give a lot of confidence in the market, and all that gap needs to fill. So let's see. Right now it looks like it's just flirting with that 50% of that auto block. Sellers are fighting. A lot of the longs up here, they must be holding and buying as well because they're under the water. They're hoping for prices to rally higher and print new high of day. A lot of the shorts here, they want to make their money and they will be piling up. So that's why it's just there's a fight going on. No clear trend. Market's overall bullish, but right now it's just chopping a bit. Right, some pushes down, being bearish. And getting some support. I want to see a lift of that frock. Print a doji. Right, sellers getting control back. Maybe we're on the wrong side of the probability. And that OR setup did work out beautifully. Market seems very bearish. It broke that. I'm at about 17, 18 points of drawdown with a big position too. Let's see if it holds that level. Otherwise, it's a lot of downside. We're going to see buyers step up here or sellers just short this move. That's the real question. We need a big buyer to take out all those sellers. Otherwise, we're seeing new lows of days. That's not a big buyer, but market's finding support. There could be enough for buyers to step in at this level. I'm tempted to just get out, but see if it finds support. I'm very impatient right now in a drawdown. But seeing is so close to entry, about 15 points, and that's wicking and trying to find some support. Just waiting for that nice big buyer. If it comes through. No, might see new lows of days. Not liking it, but it's wicking. So holding the drawdown. Not the best thing in the world. That's not one of our rules or mindset. But probability is this could be a stop loss run because this wicking is not a strong close. So I'm tempted to see maybe this is that big buy we were talking about. And that's going to rush prices up and get confidence back in the market. But it needs to push through and engulf all of that previous red candle for me to say okay. Because there is a lot of volume in the market and we could see that. That's what I would like to see. Missed my stop by maybe a point and a half. Yeah, a point. And the stop was right in this consolidation region. Market's going and testing that 50% as well now. Might get rejected or might just, we want to see a big push through, puncture through that level. That buyer stepping up. These wicks are not the best thing and sellers would get out. It's not a strong close. 50-second before this 5-minute closes. Okay. Getting a little bit of rejection at that 50% order block. We want to see a strong push up for sellers to cover. Otherwise, we might see new lows of days. We want buyers to step in here. That's the lift of the frog we were talking about. Finding rejection, we want a big buyer step up. That's the first, second 15-minute candle. That's the school run candle. So this is a deciding candle if it, let's say. All right, found a big buyer, took it up the 50% of that order block. Now we want it to puncture through the low of the first 15-minute candle for it to turn into a flip to the bullish trend side. Huge wick on the 15-minute. Some liquidity grab. Still deciding. Finding resistance. All right, lifting the frog on the 15-minute. Let's see if it completely takes it off. In a couple of minutes, the candle closes. We want to see a strong candle close up in that range. And that's a lot of conviction for the buyers to kick in. Deciding. What we don't want to do is after all of that volume and dying off and just consolidating in this region, we want it to break up or down, preferably on the upside. Flirting right at our average. Finding some resistance. $15 before this 15-minute closes. Nice on the hourly. Looks like a nice dip for everyone to get buy this liquidity in for the move up higher. Prices did come to the 50% of the yesterday's overnight range, so a lot of shorts would have taken their profits here. And imagine everyone who was shorting from the top right here, so let's say if they got in here, they had a good move down, about 80 points. Intraday, that's it, they'll be done for the day. So we might see buyers kick in. But let's see. Finding a lot of resistance here. On the 1 hour as well, we want to see that lift of frog. Currently very indecisive. Which is probably a good thing that buyers are holding these prices up. We just want a big buyer come in and take out all these levels, break out of this range. That's what I would like to see. Someone like this candle. And then we go and fill that gap. Just being patient here, right at our entry. Okay, Getting some selling pressure. Getting eaten up. But price just got sucked back into the overnight range. That's what happened. It's more like a range play. Haven't broken the range. It broke once, faked everyone out for in the first 15 minutes, came all the way down and got sucked back into the range. And now it's just flirting with it at that 50% of that overnight range. Could go lower, and that's not a good sign for our trade, of course, but there's a probability that we might go see at least the top of the range or the high of day. Just in conjunction that the whole market's been bullish. Right? Selling lower. Right at our entry, got rejected on the 15, like to the T. This could have been someone's sell order. I'm being impatient again, but let's see how the price does moves here. Looks like it's selling off. This time we might go see low of day. We are seeing some wicks here, so strong buying action. Buyers are picking up these prices, so not a lot of downside to the bottom of the range for sellers to come in. So let's see. Currently not looking out for a trade. We're on the wrong side of the probability at the moment. Finding some support. Still waiting for that big buyer. There are a lot of orders upstairs. We need to go and grab those. A lot of orders have piled up below as well, where market's currently trading, but not much on the downside. A lot of the shorts got pooched because overnight we've just been squeezing those shorts. This is a squeeze. So shorts might be coming and reclaiming that, but what I would like to see is another squeeze. And that makes me very long biased at the moment. But let's see. Just trying to be objective, finding some support here. Very impatient because we're in that loss. 10-20 point drawdown. All right, that's that big seller. And that got eaten up. That's getting eaten up at the moment. It's fighting it. Yeah, that's a short. That's a seller. Getting eaten up a bit. We found clear support here. We want to hold price. We want prices to hold this and not break or manipulate. But it's so close. It's hard to say now. The seller getting eaten up. Couldn't break the low of day. You go completely eaten up. They're fighting it. I remind myself it's still below the low of the first 15-minute candle, so it needs to flip up big time for longs to come in. At the moment, it's a short move, but we are finding some support in this region. Sellers could easily come and just pile up. So just ranging. About 50 seconds before this candle closes. One, two, three, four, 5 wicks on the downside. That's all buyers eating those prices up. We don't want to push our luck too much. 2 seconds. All right, new 5-minute candle. Market's just ranging, not breaking. That's not looking good now.
Order filled.
That stopped me out. I was very patient with it. Almost too patient. That's not the best strategy. But it's okay. Shorts made money. Again, it's wicking. I'm tempted to just go long. Just waiting for a nice push down. Oops. We might come see below that range. That's a huge candle down. Shifting strategy a touch.
Order filled.
Just shorted the NQ. See if we can see some pushes lower.
Order filled.
And that just violated my account. Maybe the last trade was a bit too much. Right, we start again tomorrow with another reset and hope to pass this combine. I sized up a lot significantly, uh, though we saw some good trades kick in, but that's losing the account. Need to work on my percentage. Maybe I'm not closing a lot of trades and profits, so that's the strategy I need to work on. Focus more on 1:1 trades because it's intraday. I'm not giving in much chance and hoping to come back at it again. That's part of the journey, they say. Thanks everyone for tuning in an hour, and hope to see everybody tomorrow. Cheers.